Welcome to the Sea Dragon's Lair. My name is Kira and thank you guys so much for joining me today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you guys here today. Today I am going to have a lot to talk about. First of all, I haven't had a video posted in a while, so I just have a lot of stuff to kind of catch up on. And then this is also kind of going to be my combination of WIPs, Happy Mail, Christmas haul, in addition to goals and plans for 2021. So kind of a Maj Podge mix of a little bit of everything. So grab something stitchy, grab a drink. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I always love making these videos. I really do. And I hope you guys enjoy watching them. So without further ado, I actually have a list made up. So we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized, but we'll see. We'll see. First off, I am wearing a festive holiday hat. I know it's technically past the holidays, as far as like Christmas and things like that goes, but my amazing pen pal from Australia sent this to me, and I wore it the day before Christmas when I was working, and then I also wore it on Christmas for all of our virtual family gatherings, and I wanted to wear it more because it's adorable and I love it and I find it fun. Also, I am wearing my latest blood donor shirt. So I try to donate blood essentially as frequently as I can. It's just my way of trying to give back to the community. It's also a good checking point for me because I do have issues sometimes with my hemoglobin levels, and it's a good way just to go get that tested, because if it's too low, they'll let me know, but if not, they'll let me know how good it is. They check your blood pressure, they kind of check a little bit of everything, and then with your actual blood, they do test it for like COVID and things like that. So I do try to donate as often as I can, and then I do wear my shirts as kind of a conversation starter. I know a lot of people are like, well, you donate to donate, and you shouldn't be donating to get something. I don't donate just because I get a free t-shirt. I like getting the t-shirt because then I wear it to bring awareness to people to donate. So if you can donate, especially now with COVID and everybody like being in and out of lockdown, there's such a need for blood. So regardless if it's the Red Cross, down in Florida, I used to donate with One Blood. There's lots of different organizations out there. So if you can, do, and yeah, kind of a easy way to give back. So I have been crazy busy. I recently picked up a second job at Michael's. I did mention that in my last video. Just seasonal depression was really getting to me, in addition to just pandemic lockdown, and my day job is in a smaller office, and I just needed that human interaction. So I started working at Michael's, which I love. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. I work with a lot of great people, and I work in a craft store. I mean, how much better can that be? I get people ask me questions about crafting. I've been like informed so much on like all sorts of new crafting projects. I'm thinking I might want to try resin pouring because that's like really popular right now, and I've had like so many people tell me so much about it, and it's just really interesting. So I love it, I really do. But it does take up a lot of my time. I've been working a lot lately. In addition to that, I was actually really sick for a while. I was really sick. So I did go get tested for COVID because I had a cough and I could get a full breath, but I felt like I was deprived of oxygen, even though I didn't feel like it was hard to breathe or anything. I did go get tested. That came back negative. I virtual telecommuted with a primary physician, and he just thought it was some sort of bug that was going around. So he prescribed me something, and I'm better now. So yay, which is great news and everything. But 2021, year of positivity. So anywho, going on and moving on. Speaking of getting married eventually, we just realized December 15th would have been our 2-year engagement anniversary. So, yep, it's been 2 years, and people are always like, oh, when are you gonna get married? Are you like, do you have plans and things like that? No, we don't have plans. It was when my fiance Jason proposed to me, complete surprise. So he was still in grad school when he proposed, and he proposed under the assumptions like, hey, is it okay if we wait until I'm done with grad school before we start planning? Because he really wants to be involved, which is awesome. And I said, yeah, no biggie, of course, we can wait. So then he finished up with grad school, and then we decided that we didn't like where we were living in Florida, so we wanted to move back to South Carolina. So like, well, no sense in planning anything because we're going to be moving. So we're like, well, let's get moved and let's get settled in and then we'll plan. Well, then amongst all of that, COVID hit. And then I'm like, well, there's not really any sense in planning right now because who knows what's going to get canceled, and we want to have people and everything like that. So we postponed it, and honestly, like, I mean, we're going to be getting married, so we have the rest of our lives. I guess there's not really any rush. I mean, I still like being like, oh yeah, like I'm engaged, and everybody gets all excited. I'm like, yeah, it's been like I've been engaged for like 2 years, but it's still exciting. I still have like a fiance and everything, and now that he's done with his master's program, I can say I sound so like sophisticated. I'm like, yes, my fiance is a data scientist and everything like that, because that's now his like official education degree is in data entry, data science, and everything like that. So yeah, really, really cool and exciting, but like I said, no real plans. I do eventually want to try on a wedding dress because I do have one in mind, a very specific one, and I love it, and it's really the only wedding dress that I've come across that I just like love, and I want to go ahead and try it on somewhere. So I know what size I'm going to need, because once I do start actually planning, it's probably not going to be in bridal shops anymore, so I will get it secondhand, so it'll be easier to find it if I know what size I want. And B, it's like the only wedding dress that I have like picked out, so if I put it on and I don't like it, yeah, I'll at least know and start looking again. But so that's kind of plans, some fun plans and everything like that. Maybe I'll do that here in a month or so. Something else real quick, and then we'll get Stitchy going. But I get my nails done, and I recently just got super, super cute little penguin nails. So my really good friend Bonnie, she's obsessed with penguins, and last time I got my nails done, she liked them, but I feel that she was kind of disappointed. She's like, no penguins? So I, of course, had to get penguins, and I love it, and they're so super cute and everything. That's another thing with Michael's is I'm working, and people see my nails like, oh, I love your nails. So it's not just me that gets the enjoyment of my nails. So they're nice. I'm going to go again in a week to get them done. So who knows what I'll have next video, but we will see. So, stitching updates. I've been working on a few projects. Like I said, I've been busy, so I haven't gotten a whole lot done, but I haven't recorded a video in a while, so I guess I probably did get a bit more done than I think, because, or at least since you've seen last. So the first one I'm going to show off is a stitch along. It's Stitchonomy's Winter 2020 stitch along. It was free to originally sign up for. The signups are no longer free at this moment, but you can join her page. So she used to have a Patreon page, and she just like as of today switched over to a new platform. But if you go to like her Facebook page, Stitchonomy, I'm sure you can find all the information there. So you can always join, and then you would get the free patterns. And not only would you get the pattern for the stitch along, but you would also get the early releases if you were a member. And in addition to that, she has a plethora of free patterns on her sites too. So this is what I'm stitching. This is up until I folded it to where the free releases are out. So I am stitching this on 28 count even weave. I did a low immersion dye for this fabric. I did it with a cherry dye, and then since I was working, I let that sit like 24 hours essentially until I had another break, and I pulled it out, rinsed it, and then I did another low immersion in a wine dye, so it's kind of like two-toned red. And I'm doing mine just in white as far as the floss goes, because the pattern calls, I think there's like 12 or 15 different colors, but I know it's small, and this is just kind of like a quick little fun project, so I didn't want to have to constantly be switching my colors. And she did say it would look nice monochromatic, and I definitely think it does. So this is kind of an evening stitch for me. I just thread my needle and I just kind of go to town on it, and it's a lot of fun. I really, really like it. So it's going to be really long and skinny, so it'll be fun to figure out how I'm going to finish that. So that was Alyssa from Stitchonomy's 2020 Winter Stitch Along, Sal. So that one's that. Then another one that I've been working a lot on, let me take my grime guard off so you can see it a bit better, is my frosted pumpkin. This is their Christmas wreath stitch along. This is stitched also on 28 count, and I can't remember what I used to dye this. This I had dyed up in Michigan last summer, and I was like experimenting with different natural dyes, so I of course didn't write it down, so I'm not sure exactly what I dyed this with, but I really like the color. And it has, so far the pattern has 2 parts released. The house is part 1, and then this bow is part 2. So I am working on this now. There are lights along the roof and in the wreath. I'm still contemplating whether I want to do that in beads, or I actually, working at Michael's, I kind of pick up everything it seems. But this Christmas we had strands of 50 like itty bitty teeny little lights, like a strand of like battery operated lights. And I did pick up a pack, and I'm thinking about potentially doing the lights, like actual lights on this. The actual piece is scheduled to be turned into a pillow. They're gonna actually have finishing, the last part of the pattern is gonna be how to finish it into a pillow. I don't really use decorative pillows a whole lot. I have a couple decorative pillows on my bed that I do use, but they're more sentimental. One was a twilled pillow that my mom did, and twilling is essentially like kind of a knot tying type thing, but it's a twilled pillow that my mom did for my grandparents' anniversary, and I'm pretty sure it was like the last anniversary that they had together before my grandfather passed. So that's one of my pillows. And then the other pillow, my mom had taken one of my other grandmother's sketches, who's the watercolor artist, and she took one of her sketches and stitched it onto a pillow, and then using watercolor pencils, like colored it in. So that's like my other pillow. So I already have like those, and I don't know, I don't really do decorative pillows a lot. I'll put them on the bed if I'm expecting company. Other than that, they just kind of sit off on the side. So I don't need more pillows. So I do want to turn that into like a nice wall hanging, potentially probably to put like on the front door maybe for Christmas. We'll see. But I am excited about that one. A part of the pattern comes out once a month. It's kind of the end of the month, which is nice because it's different than my other stitch alongs. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm hoping to actually keep up with that one. I'm really bad with keeping up with stitch alongs, but this one, I think I'm going to try to just make it a priority to actually keep up with that one. Other ones, is what it is. But that one I do want to try to actually keep up with because I do want to have it finished for next holiday season. So the other project that I have worked on some is my Dark Queen of the Sea stitch along. And I think that I would have, I've had this plan for a while. I was going to do this Christmas, but then I was sick and then it's like, nope, not doing it Christmas. But, come on. This is my Dark Queen of the Sea stitch along. This is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I am slowly working on part 2. Part 4 has already been released on this. Many people are working on this, and it's amazing. I love it. And as I said, like, I don't usually keep up with stitch alongs, and a lot of times I get discouraged with that. But this one, like, I am fine not keeping up with it. I'm actually happy that I'm not, because Aaron from Autumn Lane Stitchery, he's the designer of this. He's done a lot of alternatives for this, or a lot of like choose your own stitching, which is awesome. I think more people should do kind of like a choose your own stitching designs. I know there's a Harry Potter one, which is cool. But like for part 3, part 3 is like her top half. You have the option to do her clothed or unclothed as far as her top half goes. And then part 4, he designed 2 different faces, and then he originally had 2 different hair colors, but you can also purchase like a 6-pack of different hair colors. And it's just, I'm really bad with making decisions. So being this far behind is allowing me to see like what everybody's doing. And kind of lets me, okay, like, you know what, I really like it that way, I might do it that way, or, ooh, I really like how so-and-so did it that way, I might do it that way. So I'm really excited about this one. I love stitching on it. I'm not really discouraged about being behind on it because, like I said, I get to see what everybody else is doing. So I kind of get all of my options out there. Something I'm toying with, which I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen yet, because a lot of people are kind of slightly modifying it, which Aaron has said that he is like totally cool with. He really likes seeing people's creativity blossom on this, is giving her an eye patch. I have not seen that yet, and her eyes, man, like are stunning and amazing, but I don't know. I'm kind of obsessed with like nautical people with eye patches. So I don't know. I'm thinking about potentially doing that, but as I like to say, we'll burn that bridge when we get there, which my fiance also likes to point out that that's not the way you actually say it, but that's the way that I've always said it, and I like it that way. But yeah, instead of cross that bridge when we get there, it's like, nope, when I get there, I'm just gonna like burn it down and then we'll figure it out. So that's kind of how I say that saying. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. But yeah, so that was Dark Queen of the Sea Stitch Along by Autumn Lane Stitchery. So those are all the projects that I have actually currently put in stitches on recently. Moving on, because I have a little check sheet over here, are my WIPs. So obviously those are WIPs. WIP meaning work in progress. And those are my current WIPs, meaning those are the ones that I'm actually working on. I want to go over my other WIPs. I decided not to do a full WIP parade because I have 4 other WIPs than those 3. So I have seven WIPs currently. So I decided not to bother with a FlossTube. You guys just get one big long video. So hopefully you get lots of stitching done during this. Or work. I like to watch these videos while I'm at work. I sometimes get distracted and I have to like backtrack, and I wish YouTube had like a little like 10-second rewind button, because I'm always like trying to slide the bar over on my phone and I back up way too much and then I kind of lose concentration and miss that part again. But yeah, so whatever you guys are doing, I hope you're enjoying this and buckling down for it. So my other WIPs that I have that I want to talk about are, move this. So the first one that I really want to get some progress done on is my Maya Classic in cross stitch. So I've talked about this pattern before, and my grandmother, my grandma Dobbs on my dad's side, she used to go on archaeology digs, and specifically spent time in like the Mayan ruins and things like that. And somewhere along the lines, she picked up this pattern. This pattern actually, it's stamped from San Antonio, Texas. So maybe she picked up in Texas, I don't know. But apparently she used to cross stitch. This was before me. Like when I knew her, the only art she did was watercolors. So apparently she used to cross stitch and she worked on this. And then she stopped cross stitching, and my Aunt Amanda, her daughter, started cross stitching. So this got sent to my Aunt Amanda, and she put on some stitches back when she used to cross stitch. And then she stopped cross stitching and it kind of got put away. And then I started cross stitching and she sent it to me. So she sent this to me maybe 2 years ago now. And the pattern, I think if there's any copyrights on it, so far gone, but the pattern is like legitimate, like a hand-drawn pattern, and it's really, really hard to read. So what I'm doing is I am digitizing the pattern. So not only would it be easier for me to read the pattern, but that way I can actually kind of move them around and try to arrange them in a way that they all fit. That is my game plan, is to make them all fit on this, but I might honestly kind of stitch them a little separately and then cut them up and make little gifts for like my sister and me and my cousins who would get sentimental value out of this. So my big thing with this is I want to finish digitizing the pattern. Hopefully get some stitches in on it, but really just finish digitizing the pattern. So that's another WIP that I'm working on. And then another one. So the other 3 WIPs I just, nope. I have one more. So another one, which I haven't been showing this in my main thing because it is going to be for a gift, but I am going to go ahead and show it because it's not going to get done in time for the gift anyway. But I am working on Peppermint Purple 2021 Year of Black Work. And I honestly have not picked up this in a while. I mean, I did pick it up just like a couple weeks ago and did this, and my brain just wasn't functioning for black work. This is actually my very first black work piece. I'm new to cross stitching, and I had never even heard of black work when I kind of stumbled across Peppermint Purple, and I saw that they were doing like this free stitch along, and every week they would release like a little bitty box. So I was like, oh, perfect. That's something I can do and keep up with. No, I was for a bit. I used to be off on Wednesdays, and that's what I would do. I would get up, and even before getting out of bed, I would stitch my block. But then life changed and life got busy, and I'm really far behind. So I do hope to get this done soon-ish. We will see. I am still enjoying it. They are doing a 2021, and they actually have 2 layouts to choose from, and it's really, really cool, and it's extremely tempting, but it's not on my plans, sadly. It's just not. I just have other things that I want to work on, and I'm not even done with that one yet. So, but I am enjoying it. So that's another WIP I have. And then, so now I can chuckle. The remaining 3 WIPs that I have are all Halloween WIPs. So, the first one is my Halloween Gigi. This is by Harp Seal Cross Stitch, which I just tried to go to her Etsy page the other day, and it was no longer. I'm not sure why. I haven't really investigated it. I'm not sure if she took it down permanently or she changed to a different name or anything like that. Because, I mean, I love her patterns. If you're a Miyazaki film guru, then like her patterns were the place to go. So I'm kind of sad to see that it wasn't there anymore. But maybe I'll do some research and figure out if she's under a different name or whatnot. But this is Gigi, and this is on 14 count Aida. And I started working on this a while ago, and the frame is going to go all the way around it, and it kind of gets filled in and everything. So it's fun. It is on 14 count. This is one of my first projects that I kind of started working on, and it's just the black coverage doesn't really make me too happy on it. I know Jessie from Bobo Stitch and Quilt. She is also working on a pattern from Harp Seal, and nothing with the patterns. The patterns are amazing. Like, she did a really good design pattern on it. It's just we both started working on a light colored Aida, and we were using black, and we're both not happy with how the black is turning out. But I don't know. It's fine. It's fun. I honestly really like this pattern enough that I might finish this and give this one away and then restitch it again on like a 28 count. So we'll see. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And then my list went blank. Okay. And then another Halloween one that I started working on, it was a stitch along, of course. I did not get far at all. So this is creatively crafting Halloween stitch along, and this is as far as I got, and it was a lot. I wasn't really enjoying it. I was working on other projects. This is stitched on a 28 count piece of ice dyed even weave that I did. I stopped there on purpose because what I plan on doing, because I like this. It's cute. It really is cute. But I wasn't going to do the whole thing. Like, the whole thing was this big, and it looks great. It really does. They did a great job designing it. It's just not really my thing. So what I decided was to go ahead and stop here and kind of do a small happy, so HAPPY, and then Halloween, using that same H as well, and just kind of make a little bit smaller and just call it Dunsies. So this is another WIP that I have that I need to work on. And then the last WIP that I have is, again, another Halloween one, and this one's almost done. So this is Alyssa from Stitchonomy. This is her Halloween stitch along, and I have 5 boxes left at the bottom to fill in. I do have my patterns picked out. So this one, again, I was a Patreon member of hers during this. I have now switched to her new site. I'm not sure what we're called now, but not Patreon. But she came out with alternative patterns. But then in the Facebook group, so many people shared their patterns that they came out with. And she's a designer that's totally cool with that and everything. So I went through after everything was done, and I picked out a combination of her patterns that I liked, that I want to like keep on here, in addition to other people's designed patterns that I want to put on. Oh, 6, because there's a block up here. So yeah, I hope to get that done in a FFO, fully finished object, by Halloween of next year. So that is all of my WIPs that I have. Man, like, I'm new to cross stitching and everything, but I still feel like I just don't have a lot of WIPs. I mean, compared to some of these WIP parades that I'm watching, I don't know. Maybe I'll eventually get there. At the same time, I'm also okay with not having that many WIPs, because every year there's so many new patterns that are out that I want to stitch. And I feel like if I get to a point where I have so many old patterns that I need to finish, I just like, people are doing like no new start 2021 or like no buy 2021, and I just don't want to have enough WIPs to have to be able to do that. So I'm happy with that amount, but I do want to get them knocked out so I don't have more, because I do have more projects planned. But before I get to my planned projects and my goals for 2021, let's do a little bit of Happy Mail and Christmas haul, because who doesn't like being enabled? Because you guys have been enabling me with all of these holiday countdown, advent calendar boxes and things like that. Ooh, speaking of that, so everybody was doing, well, not everybody, a lot of people were doing advent calendar unboxings, and it was so much fun to watch. But at the same time, I was kind of sad because I didn't have one. So, I mean, which is fine because I was really busy anyway. But at Michael's, we were selling this super cute little advent calendar that you could paint yourself. So I picked this up, I painted it, and I am currently filling the drawers with all sorts of fun little stitchy goodness and just like other cute little fun things to put in here. And probably, I don't know, end of February, I'll like call it. I have to have it done and filled by the end of February. It's going to get wrapped up and it's going to get put away for next Christmas, because with my memory, I'm not going to remember what's in these boxes. So when I go to open it up next year, I'm just going to be like just as excited and thrilled and in awe of everything that I stuck in here. So this is kind of like my I guess my ghetto advent calendar box, makeshift DIY funness thing. So this is what I'm doing. I might also do like a hot chocolate advent calendar next year. I don't know, because I like hot chocolate. So that is that. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about some Happy Mail first. So DNA Geek Crafts on YouTube. She has a FlossTube. You should definitely go check her out. She has a super, super cute puppy named Lexi, who usually always makes an appearance in the video as well. She does a lot of really cool stuff. Like, she's into anime and just like unique patterns and things like that. Right up my alley. So definitely check her out. And she was opening up one of her mail holiday things. I don't think it was an advent calendar, but one of the presents that she got was these Santa Baby floss drops from the Fat Quarter Shop. And she's like, well, I don't use floss drops, so if anybody does let me know and I'll send them your way. So I was like, oh, awesome. I normally use bobbins, but I am definitely toying with the idea of switching to floss drops for a lot of my projects. So I was like, yeah, like I would love that. So she sent me a super cute card and she sent me a bag of floss drops. So I am currently transitioning my frosted pumpkin stitchery. I hope I said that when I was saying this earlier. This is frosted pumpkin stitchery. This is a Christmas wreath stitch along. I'll have to edit that if I didn't, because that's all the P's. So I am transitioning this, since this is my Christmas project, over to my handy dandy new little floss drops, which I love because, I don't know, I don't normally do a lot of Christmassy things, but I've decided like I'm gonna go all out with this project. So I got like, I'm working on the pattern. I got their super adorable needle minder. I will probably eventually be doing a holiday grime guard. Right now I'm just using this super cute mushroom and hedgehog one that my mom made me. I have these awesome Santa floss drops, and I keep everything in this little Christmas book. So this is kind of like my project bag, if you say so. So yeah, this is like my Christmas, like everything, everything jam-packed. So I'm really excited about these. I've actually like watched some videos on how to use floss drops. I don't know. I mean, you wouldn't think that you would need to watch a how-to video on how to use these things, but I've watched them and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. So it's really interesting. It actually makes sense now because I'm like, well, that's kind of a pain in the butt if you have to like take it off and like pull your string out and then you have to put it back through and everything, but that's not how you do it. You actually like pick out a strand, like pull it out and continue on your way. So it's really cool. So I'm really excited about these. And thank you so much to Carrie from DNA Geek Crafts. Like I said, check her out. Lots of funness over there. She also does like a little bit of knitting, and everything like that. So, Happy Meal came from DNA Geek Crafts. Check her out. Super cute dog, Lexi. I think she's the only FlossTuber that I watch that has a dog that is in it, except Autumn Lane Stitchery. They have some dogs too. And I love them to death, and I do one in my Happy Meal. And then another one in my Happy Meal, kind of like a combination Happy Meal Christmas, is from my pen pal. So my pen pal in Australia, Claudia, she sent me not only this awesome hat that I am wearing, because it's so adorable and I love it. I normally have a flower in my hair, so this goes like right up my alley. And funny story, so I work at a craft store. We get all of our like holiday glowy jewelry, jingly hoo-rahas, and we didn't have any head clips. Like they had headbands with like hats and antlers and stuff, but no clips. And I can't stand headbands. I don't know, they always give me headaches. But we didn't have any clips, and I was kind of like, well, I guess I'm not having like a holiday hair clip or anything like that. And then lo and behold, Claudia sends me a holiday hair clip. So I love it. In addition to that, she sent me this super cute card. So the theme for December was penguins or snowmen. And it was actually really funny because I had seen this pattern and I was contemplating about stitching it for her. But I didn't. I ended up doing kind of my own design of a sand snowman because she's in Australia. It's summer there. I grew up in Florida. It was always hot during Christmas. So I did like a little sand snowman, and then I also did a little penguin for her. But I'm so glad that she stitched this for me because I actually really, really like this pattern, but I just didn't think I was ever going to actually stitch it myself. So it's super cute, and everything like that. And then in addition to that, she sent me this little kit. It's a phone case kit. I have a big phone, so I'll probably use it to put other things in. But it's of a flamingo, and I love it. My grandmother, Grandma Dobbs, she was always obsessed with flamingos. And actually, so funny Christmas flamingo thing, because I mean, this was a Christmas gift, essentially. My grandmother, being in Florida, always had like the pink flamingo yard ornaments. And like they were up year round, because like you always had like flamingos in your yard in Florida. Not that there were actually like wild flamingos in Florida. But around Christmas time, my dad had made a surfing Santa cutout. I'll have to see if I can find a picture. But essentially it's like Santa on a surfboard, like in trunks with his hat, and he's like surfing, and then we would wrap like beads to be like he's being pulled by the flamingos. So we turned her flamingo year-round yard ornaments into a holiday decoration. So it was always fun. Like we'd always get people who'd be like riding by in their boats, like, oh, look at like Santa being pulled by the flamingos. So in Florida, Santa gets pulled by flamingos. Up north, he gets pulled by reindeer. Yeah. Wherever you are, whatever the creature may be, holiday joy will be spread to you and me. Let's rhyme. So that's like my happy mail, like specifically like happy mail that came from people that may or may not have been specific Christmas related. So moving on to presents. So I got a lot of presents, and I love them all, and they're all amazing. Let me go ahead and start with from my in-laws, so my fiance's parents. They do this like amazing thing where they request our Amazon wish list, essentially, and like it just gets us a whole bunch of stuff from our Amazon wish list. So I got a lot of fun stuff. I got a couple scarves, which I actually didn't bring in here with me. I also got a heated blanket, which is so nice. It's really nice. My sister and her husband had gotten these heated blankets themselves, and they were telling me how much they liked it. So I like popped it on my wish list, maybe something that I would get later, and my in-laws got it for me for Christmas. And it's really nice because Jason likes it cold, and I'm not a cold person, and he's nice enough to compromise, and we keep like our house at 70, 72, which might seem really hot to a lot of people, but I'm usually still cold. So now with the heated blanket, I can like wrap up in the heated blanket while stitching on the couch, and then I take it to bed with me when it's warm and get everything nice and toasty. So that's currently in the bedroom. And then they also got me like fuzzy socks. So I got pigs, and then I got purple pandas, and then some cows. So my cows are currently at work because it gets cold at work. And I like to look nice, so like sometimes I'll wear like my little like footy socks and like my heels to go into work, and then as soon as I get to my desk, my fuzzy socks come on, I get wrapped up in my quilt, and I turn my little space heater on. But like when I'm walking around the building, I have my nice little heels on and stuff like that. So those are there, and then my panda socks are in the other room. So in addition to that, they did get me two really nice scarves. One's pink and it has really pretty flowers on it, and then the other one is green with dachshunds on it, which is super adorable. They also got me this book, A Garden to Die For, by Chris McLaurin. So this book, again, all of this stuff you can find on Amazon, because it was from my Amazon wish list. And essentially this book is all about growing things, like what you can grow in your garden to do actually like natural dyes. And a lot of times natural dyes are used on like natural fibers for like yarn and wool and knitting. But I do like to experiment with natural dyes as far as for my cross stitch fabric goes. A lot of times I do like stitching on even weave, which doesn't always take natural dyes the best, but I'm experimenting with it. I do hope to eventually be able to kind of produce maybe a little bit more natural dyes, because I know there are a lot of people out there that sell amazing dyed fabrics, and I feel that that market is kind of getting a little saturated, which is not a problem at all because it's awesome. But I kind of want to dabble it in my own potentially, because I really do like dyeing fabric, and I do really like the concept of doing natural dyes. So I hope to eventually maybe kind of perfect that a bit to be able to produce some of my own natural dyes. So I'm really excited about this book. In my plans for 2021, I'm going to show you a couple natural dyes that I did myself. In addition to, so this is done, this is a natural dye fabric, actually. This was originally white, and I naturally dyed it with something. Again, I need to I have a dye journal, and I just don't really use it, which I need to. So that was one of the things that they got me. They also got me some Thread Magic, which I've never used thread wax before, and I know, I feel it's kind of in either a love-hate relationship as far as with cross-stitching goes, but I'm excited to give it a try. I'm normally a thread licker, which is fine, but I also bring my stitching everywhere I go, and in the pandemic, when who knows what is out and about, and the cold season, the flu season, I mean, it's not just COVID out there. I was sick, and I don't know what I had, but I was sick, and it wasn't COVID. But licking threads in public is just not sanitary. It's probably not very attractive either. So I'm really excited to try out this Thread Magic. I heard really good things about it, so I'm excited to try that out. Prevent me from licking threads in public. And then, so along the lines of me dyeing more fabric and keeping track of what I used to dye it, I got this awesome tagging gun. I can usually read backwards and upside down, but for some reason, looking at it on the screen, I was having difficulty reading it, and it's not in English on the back, so I was not saying that. But I saw a lot of people use this or something like this to tag their fabric, because it's not a staple, it's not a paper clip, it's not something that's going to rust, it's not really going to affect the fabric because it's a thin little tag that goes through it. It's essentially like the tag that you have on your clothing, the little plastic tags that you put on your clothing. So I'm really excited about this, because I hope now that when I start to dye more fabric, I can actually tag my fabric so I remember what the count was, what I used to dye it, and then maybe also kind of a link back to where I can look to see the process I used for dyeing. Because with natural dyes especially, measuring it out specifically, what type of water you used, how much acidity was in the water, how long you let it soak, at what temperature you let it soak, all really plays an effect to it. And if I plan to do this as kind of on a production level, I'm going to need to know how to potentially reproduce it. So I'm really, really excited about this. And then something that I saw other people doing, so you all enabled me, was doing cross stitch inside of photo snow globes. So they got me this snow globe, and you can open it up and you can change out the photo inside. So I'm really excited to potentially maybe probably do a photo on one side and then something cross stitched on the other. So I got a snow globe, and I'm really excited about that. Because, it's a snow globe. It's not necessarily Christmas. It's, I don't know. It snows through February in most places. Sometimes even March. So if it's snow globe season. And then they also got me some water-soluble canvas, which is really exciting because I have my cross-stitch jean jacket that I hope to add more to. If you haven't seen that, I think I showed it off. I definitely showed it off in my first video. So like my first video, I kind of showed off a lot of projects that I had. And one of which I stitched on a jean jacket using water-soluble canvas. And essentially it's going to be like my tattoo jacket, where when I find cute little patterns that I like but I have no idea what I want to do with, I'm going to stitch it on that jacket. So they got me some of that. And then they got me this super cute kawaii cross stitch book. So there's 80 really, really cute tiny little kawaii patterns. And kawaii is essentially just cute in Japanese. A lot of times they're just like inanimate objects with cute little faces, or just like really cute little tiny critters and stuff. So I'm excited to be stitching that. And then they also got me this Passion for Cross Stitch, and it's a cross stitch journal in the sense of its actual like cross stitch pages. So I do really like designing my own patterns. I do use PC Stitch on my laptop, but a lot of times I still like to hand draw it out first to kind of like get my ideas out there, and then I might finalize it, finish up the colors and whatnot digitally. So yeah, I got that as well. So it's really, really exciting. So that's what I got from my in-laws. And then I did participate in a secret gift exchange. And one of the things I got was this plastic canvas cross stitch magnets. So I do actually have some plastic canvas. I haven't really stitched much on it, but this is a really cute book with different cute little patterns to stitch on there. And then they also sent me this crocheted hooded scarves pattern. So there's I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, counting right now, 6 different hooded crocheted patterns in here. So one of my goals for 2021 is to learn how to crochet. I forgot to show that off. I have something to show you after a haul. But yeah, so they got me this, which I'm really excited about. Not that I really know how to crochet yet, but I will be getting there. And then, let's see, my sister and her husband, she made me this super cute little pouch. It has purple inside, purple being my favorite color. And it is made, I'm not sure if you can really see, but they're all different white on whites. So I'm obsessed with white on white fabric. I don't know why, I just love it. I also really like whole cloth quilts. So if you're not a quilter, essentially what it is it's literally a whole piece of cloth and it's just all quilted. And a lot of times, or the ones that I really like, is it's like a whole white piece and then it's quilted with white thread. So it's very, very delicate looking, really, really unique and interesting. And as much as like I love bright, fun colors, white on white for some reason, just like I'm drawn to it. Maybe because it is kind of like the absolute opposite of bright, fun colors. But she had some scraps left over from, she did a really cute little ghost pattern. I'll see if I can put it in a picture, but it's a pattern that we sell on our quilt shop. So my family has a quilt shop. It's called Happy Squirrel Quilts. It's family run, and by family run, I mean my sister runs it essentially. But we sell like fabric and patterns and things like that for quilters and crafters. And I'm starting to potentially put out some of like my cross stitch patterns and stuff like that on there. But it's family run. Essentially, like my mom loves to quilt. My dad likes to sew. My sister likes to sew and quilt. And pre-pandemic, we would do quilt shows. So we would all get together as a family and do it. And it's just a lot of fun. It really is. But she did the really cute little ghost, and she had some scrap left over, so she made me this cute little bag. And then she also knitted me this headband. So it is really, really soft, and it's bright green. So I have two other headbands that she knitted me. They're both kind of like purples and blues. And this one is like bright green. Oh, sorry. I think she crocheted this. I don't know if you can tell. But I want to say she actually crocheted this. So it has my hair in it because I've already been wearing it. It's been cold. So nice and bright, which is really nice because my cold weather jacket is black, and I normally have on black pants, hence the pants. And it's nice to have bright colors, especially when I go walking around the neighborhood, especially in the evenings. So yeah. And then so that's what I got from them. Oh, I also got kohlrabi seeds. Kohlrabi. Oh, it's really weird to pronounce. Essentially, it's a root vegetable. So she sent me seeds, and I have a black thumb, but I'm kind of like determined to figure out how to plant these and grow these, because so they end up like kind of being like this big. It's kind of like a cabbage / radish type thing. So it's like a radish consistency, but I think it's more kind of a cabbage. But you can either cook it or eat it raw. And I had it for the first time in Michigan this past summer, and it's really, 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 really good. I dipped mine in ranch. When it's cooked, it's kind of like almost like potato, like potato essentially, or like a yuca. And it's really good, but I can't find it anywhere. So she sent me some seeds. So maybe I can grow my own, so I can have some, which would be awesome. So I'm trying to do some research on when and how to plant those. So then my parents, oh no. Oh. So my mom knitted me this awesome dragon wing cowl. Isn't that so cool? So, I like wearing it on my shoulder, kind of like this, like a wing. If I'm wearing my jacket, I'll put it down in the front so it kind of covers more. But she knitted me this, which is absolutely awesome. So my mom just like recently picked up knitting, and as with anything craft related, she like picked it up and flew with it. I mean, that's where my sister gets it from, I think. But so she made me that. And then she made me this bag. So I picked this pattern out this past summer, and I really like the pattern. I was like, oh, you should get it, and then like we could make it, knowing good and well that I would have had her make it for me anyway. So I've actually been using it. So I have stuff in it, but there's a front pocket here. There is another zip pocket here that like fully unzips, and there's a mesh zip pocket here, and there's a pocket here, and there's a pocket here, and she put a little tag on there too, handmade by Mom. And then I'll try to get the name of the pattern if you're interested. And then there's an open pocket here, and then this main pocket, it unzips all the way. So I have my winter stitch along in this like 8x8 Q-snap, and it fits in here. So, and this opens all the way up, and it has a mesh zip bag here, a pocket here, and then a zippered pocket up here. So I mean, who can't use more pockets? So this is awesome. I love it. The fabric I had picked out years ago, because you always know you go to a quilt shop and like, oh, I love that fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I love it, so I gotta have it. And that was like one of those fabrics. And then my dad, give me just 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. So then my dad made me this super cute little meerkat So I really like meerkats, in addition to bats and pandas. I think they're just so adorable. So this is needle felted. So my dad's really good at needle felting. So he made me this. And he actually does, well, if he'll stand up in my hand, but he does stand up. So it'll probably go to work with me, potentially. I have a couple things that I want to bring to work with me. So I got that from my parents. And then my friend Bonnie sent me a package. And I just got it like last night, so I haven't put anything away. So I just like put it back in the box because I knew I was going to be recording. So she sent me super adorable little chapstick. And it smells really good. I think it's like creme brulee, cuddly cream puff. And it's really nice. I have used it. A lot of times I use Burt's Bees. I think that's, yeah, Burt's Bees. But this is nice. It smells really good. So a nice alternative. And then she sent me something to put in my advent calendar, specifically slot number 6. So I'm not showing that off because I want you to be even more surprised than I'm going to be when I open it next year. So she also, let me see. Let me start with the card. I usually try to always start with the card. Sent me this super adorable little penguin card. It makes me miss her so much. Like, everything panda, like a penguin, because she loves penguins so much. So whenever I see anything penguin, I'm like, oh, Bonnie. But it's adorable. And she wrote some really nice stuff in there. And everything. She didn't write a poem. She's really good at poetry. But I know, like, we both were super time crunched with our holiday gifts. Like, I got mine sent out later than she got me hers sent out. I was like, oh, hey, like, I'm gonna be sending it out late. She's like, no problem. And then, like, I sent mine out, like, I was waiting on something, okay? And I sent it out because I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I just need to get this out to her. And then, lo and behold, like, 2 days later, I just got in the mail the thing that I want to send to her. So she's going to be getting another package soon. But she also made me this super cute little panda candle. Isn't that adorable? I probably honestly won't burn it because it's too cute to burn. But she did such a good job at making me this. Let me see. See? So adorable. It is purple. It's my favorite color. If you haven't heard that enough. And then she also sent me, let me see. Also, she's like, in addition to penguins, anything Ziploc, I think of her, because she literally, like, puts everything in, like, 3 Ziploc bags. I don't know. I love it, though. So she sent me a little miniature easel, which might seem odd, but look at what she painted me through bats. Not only are they bats, there's a purple bat, which obviously would be me, and then there's a blue bat, which obviously would be her. So it's really cute, and then she signed the back and everything. So that is gonna go on the easel, and this is gonna go to work with me as well. So yeah, I love it. It makes me smile. And they have googly eyes. I mean, like, who doesn't love googly eyes? So I got that. And that's what I got for my presents. Oh, my fiance got me a really nice bracelet, which I'm not wearing right now because I'm off work, and I usually kind of derobe all of my jewelry. I am wearing my necklace though, but that's more of a fidgety thing, I guess. I like it. I rub it. It relieves my anxiety, and then I keep my engagement ring on until I go to sleep. But yeah. Sorry, I'm never comfortable. Like, I can't sit with my feet on the ground. Yeah, I know that probably sounds really weird, but I can't. I'm so uncomfortable. Like, flying in airplanes is really difficult because it's not really proper to like curl up in your seat in an airplane, but just like sitting with both feet on the ground. Like I normally always at least have to have one foot tucked up underneath me, if not more than one, which is probably why I have really bad knees and hips and whatnot. But yeah, sorry, I was just getting comfortable. So those are all of my gifts. Super awesome gifts. So yeah, my fiance, he got me a really nice bracelet. They're jade beads, and then there's a little turtle. And with that, all the proceeds went to the Wildlife Turtle Conservation. And I got a little postcard with the turtle that like the bracelet was dedicated for, and a little tracker thing so I can actually track my turtle. So it's really cool. But you know what? I'll be right back. Okay, I decided this was gonna be a long video. I had to edit anyway. I went ahead and got it. I also got myself a glass of water because I've been telling you guys, grab a drink, grab your stitching. I didn't grab a drink for myself. Anywho, so my fiance got me this amazing bracelet. So there's a turtle bead on it, and it's really pretty. He actually got a matching one for him. His beads are green. I don't think it's necessarily emerald, but it's definitely green. And then we each got a card with a turtle. So we got Freckles, and Freckles is a leatherback. And then we got Spongy, and Spongy is a hawksbill. And they have little scan card codes here, and you can scan them and you can see where your turtles are. So here's a little bit more information. It's in part with the Sea Turtle Conservancy and the wildlife collections. So yeah, it was really sweet. He had asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I told him I didn't want anything, and I wanted my Christmas money to go to my birthday fund, because I am turning 30 in May. And I know it's not really a big deal, but I'm going to make it a big deal because some people do, and I just want to be one of those people. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but it's not going to be anything small. So it's probably going to be a trip somewhere. Obviously, everything COVID pending. Potentially something with my friend Bonnie. Maybe down to Florida. Maybe a cabin up here on a lake. Some sort of crafty retreat. I don't know. I don't know yet. I have no idea yet. I just know that I want money for it, and more than just normal birthday money. So I wanted my Christmas gift to go towards my birthday gift. So I told him for him not to get me anything, and he was really good, and he still got me something. So moving on. So those are all of my gifts, my Christmas haul, my happy mail, everything like that. So now to talk about my goals / plans for 2021. Sorry, I was quickly mentally thinking if I want to do this in a separate video, but it'll be fine. It'll upload, right? Ooh, so I have this set over here, and it's staring at me. So you think I would not forget that I want to talk about this? But I apparently keep forgetting that I want to talk about this. So I guess it kind of goes with my goals. So, number one goal for 2021. It's not cross-stitch related, but it is stitch-ish related. I want to learn how to crochet. Like, legit learn how to crochet. Every couple years, I'm like, I'm going to learn how to crochet, or I'm going to learn how to knit. And I pick it up, and I fiddle with it, and nope, not happening. So this year, I want to learn how to crochet. Like, actually learn how to crochet. So my sister, who is a knitter, quilter, musician, everything, she recently started crocheting. Sorry, not cross-stitching. She doesn't cross-stitch. Crocheting. And mostly the anagori, the little critters. And then she just taught my dad how to crochet. So I was like, I want to learn how to crochet. So we did a family crafting day the other day, which I hope to also do more of. And I sort of learned how to crochet. So I made this little one. So this is a little monster. The pattern was from a pattern she had found on Ravelry. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily supposed to look like this, but I tried. The hook I had was a really big hook. And the yarn I had was not the best yarn. I kept on like sticking my hook through the yarn and like pulling half the yarn and stuff. But overall, like I actually finished something. And it is a monster. So for a monster, it looks amazing. And then I did just like a little felt eye. I really like how that turned out. So that's like felt with a piece of black felt with a little piece of white felt. So I really like how that turned out. And then I happened to have some little Chanel wires and I made some hair. So this is my monster, my very, very first crochet piece. So we will see come video and getting ready for 2022 how far I've come. So 2021, learn how to crochet. Already working on it, and so I'm recording this on the 31st. Did not say that. I'll be posting it on the 1st. So the 1st, essentially, I got that done. Another plan is my FlossTube. So I love my FlossTube. I love recording. I love watching people's FlossTubes. I want to get better at it. I'm going to set my goal at 1 video a month, the last Friday of every month is when it will be published. So FlossTube Fridays, essentially. And that is my goal. If I do more, great, but I don't want to do less. I also want to get better at organizing it. I want to get better at linking everything. I want to make an intro video. I have a lot of plans. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It's kind of my digital journal as well. I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, 2021, you'll see me at least once a month. In addition to that, okay, so my iPad is dying. Birthday. So like I said, I am turning 30 this year in May. May 3rd, I am turning 30. And I'm really excited about it. And so many people I know I've seen where they do like 30 starts for their 30th birthday and this and that and everything like that. I'm not doing that. I am doing one big start for my 30th birthday. And the main reason I'm doing this is so I can keep track of it, because I know this is going to be a multi-year project. Let me see if I get a picture of it. Oh, my iPad is dying, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. So I'm obsessed with Pokemon. And I recently actually just watched every single dubbed episode of Pokemon starting from the beginning, like maybe like a year or 2 years ago. I just binge watched everything. So I intend to start it all back over on my birthday. And I am going to be stitching Pokemon Gen 1 Color Spectrum by Boris Designs. And it's amazing. So there's another Gen 1 extended pattern that I wanted to stitch, but then I saw this one and I love it. I love the colors. I love it. And I decided I'm going to do this one. It's big. Of course, don't have the dimensions there, but it's big. I am going to be stitching it on 18 count black Aida. I actually had to contact 123 Stitch because I was looking everywhere for a piece that was big enough and I couldn't find it anywhere. And 123 Stitch was the place that had the closest size. So I emailed them. I'm like, hey, this is the size I'm looking for. Do you guys have anything like close to it? And they said, we can custom cut you something. This is as close as we can get because that's as big as the fabric is. May I say their customer service is spot on. Like, I know they're kind of a big box as far as like cross-stitching stuff goes, but I mean, I emailed them maybe at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I had a response by 8 o'clock in the morning, and they were like spot on with their emails, links and everything. The fabric is on back order. I was like, I don't want to miss it. I'm not in a rush because I don't need it until May, but with things, how things are going, I was like, I just want to make sure I get some. So like they went ahead and pre-ordered it for me and everything like that. They got all my information, like spot on. Like you could tell that an actual person was talking with me. So I'm really happy with that. As much as it might be kind of like a big box cross-stitch shop, definitely customer service is still there, which is awesome. So they are going to be sending me my fabric, which is a big piece of fabric. And I am slowly starting to collect all the floss that I need. So it's a color spectrum pattern. And let me see. I'm kind of curious now if I can pull this up while I'm talking. So I'm slowly collecting my floss from work, because now that I work at a craft store, I get it at a really good discount because I get an employee discount. And then if it goes on sale, I get even more discount. But there's a lot of floss. So I recently picked up this photo box from Michaels. And what I am doing is each section, I have all the floss that will be in here. And then I am numbering it on the front with my label maker. So everything's going to be organized because I followed my pattern. So it is 580 stitches by 580 stitches. Like I said, it's big. And it is, oh, it doesn't have how many. It is like, let me see if I can show you. I don't know exactly how many. Are you gonna rotate? You're not gonna rotate. But it's like 5 pages of like technical difficulties. No, but it's like 5 pages of like all that. Like when it says color spectrum, it means like color spectrum. Which I'm really excited about. It's gonna be gorgeous. It really is. It's just, it takes a lot of floss. So I'm slowly collecting that. Again, I'm not starting this until my birthday in May, so I have time to slowly collect it. And then also another awesome part of this would be some of them, like literally as it takes, I don't know, 30 stitches of one color. So it's not using a lot. So this is really going to help me fulfill my like cross stitch floss collection. So another perk. So stay tuned. Coming soon to a FlossTube near you, May 3rd. Pokemon Epic Start. So in addition to that, thank you DNA Geek Crafts, not only for my floss bobbins, but sarcastically, thank you for enabling me. This stitch along I did not know even existed. So Cloud's Factory, which you might say, that sounds familiar. They're the ones that are doing the Grimm's Brother fairy tale stitch along currently. They are doing their 2021 stitch along is called There Is No Planet B. And it's going to be all endangered species. So as an animal fanatic, I was like, I have to do that. I have to do that one. And the pattern wasn't expensive. It's another stitch along. And we all know how far I get behind the stitch alongs, but it's fine. I enjoy them. I like the surprise of not knowing what it is. I like Cloud's Factory style, so I know I'm going to like the pattern. That's kind of how I do my stitch alongs. If I like the designer, I'll be like, okay, I'm fine if this is a mystery because I know I'm going to like it anyway because I like their style. So I'm really, really excited about that. I plan on trying to stitch that on 22 count Aida. I've never stitched on that before. We had some at work, so I got some because again, I work at a craft store and I can't come home empty-handed, it seems. But that's okay. That's my fun job. Essentially my paycheck goes back into my job, which is fine because it's my fun job. That's what it's there for. But I'm really excited actually about this because A, I'm going to be stitching a 22 count Aida, and B, I intend to try to shaving cream dye my fabric. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but I'm starting to see it more and more. But people are essentially using, old school shaving cream with like food coloring, and you swirl it around and get marbled effect to make cards and paper. People are doing that with fabric. So I think it's really, really cool. And then like the call for fabric for this pattern is kind of like a mottled blue sky, essentially. So I'm really excited to try out the shaving cream marbled with blues and stuff. So that's my plan for the fabric for that. So I'm really excited about that. And then, let's see. Another project is a phoenix. So I haven't quite figured out exactly the pattern, but earlier this year, I dyed some, how do I have tissue paper? Some floss, and it's variegated dyed floss, hand dyed using natural dyes. It's using cumin, not cumin, paprika for the, so paprika for the reds, carrots for the orange, and turmeric for the yellow. So I really, really like it. I don't think it's super color fast or anything like that, so it has to be something that I'm not going to wash. But I had posted this and be like, hey, and I did this back in the fall, and I was like, what pattern should I stitch this with? And a lot of people came back with really cool leaf patterns and things like that, but by that time I was kind of over fall, and somebody had mentioned doing a phoenix. So I really like that idea. So I'm going to be stitching a phoenix with that floss. Another project that I have planned is, let me see here, is an up north poem. So when I was a kid, I used to write a lot. I would write a lot of short stories, and I would also dabble in poetry. So my mom recently found this poem that I wrote. I was in middle school probably, and I wrote it about our place up in Michigan. So our summer home in Michigan essentially is a house on 9 acres of woods in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of on a swampy land. So I wrote this poem. It's called My Swamp. Trees, webs, and slippery logs are some of the things in my swamp. The webs have crystals from the dew. The hummingbirds are buzzing too. The dog is howling at the moon. I hear the rustling of a raccoon. The squirrels are chattering in the trees, and I feel as if I'm free. The air is sweet as candy. Deer crashing through the bushes, and bunnies running through the mud that squishes. These are the things that are in my swamp, and I am happy for what I got. So I wrote that poem probably when I don't know how old I was. When I was young. And my mom found it, and she really, really liked it. So I'm foregoing specific presents in 2021. Like, you're not getting Christmas presents, you're not getting birthday presents, you're getting just because presents in 2021. So this is one that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing it on this. And this is 28 count even weave, and I dyed this with black bean juice, essentially. So when I was up in Michigan, like I was saying before, I dabbled in natural dyes. And my mom had soaked some black beans to make something with black beans. And I used the water to dye the fabric. So it's a really cool kind of almost swampy color. So I'm working on designing the font and everything like that. I intend to stitch it on this, and that will be a just because present for them at some point this year. And then another piece of fabric that I dyed is this. So I dyed this using, what were they? Hydrangeas flowers. I think that's what was the flowers. But it's really pretty. It's probably going to show up too well because I'm wearing red. I probably shouldn't have worn red today. But it's kind of a pinky brownish. There are actually still some flower parts on there because this is the first time really dyeing with flowers, and I didn't think it through about straining it or anything like that. But it's a really, really pretty kind of pinkish purple. And I am going to be stitching Ariana, the stitching fairy. I am going to be changing the colors on this. I haven't really decided what colors I'm going to change, but I am. I do really like this pattern. So, fun story about this pattern. I got this pattern when we were on our way to a quilt retreat last year, back in 2019, I guess. And I had Googled all the cross-stitching shops kind of between my parents' place in Florida and where we were doing the retreat at. And this one popped up, and we went to this shop, and they didn't have a whole lot of cross-stitching stuff, but it was so cool. So this shop was a cross-stitch music magic shop. Yeah, you heard me right. It was a cross-stitch shop, a music shop / studio, and a magic shop. So the owner, his wife was super into cross-stitching, and he was super into magic, and they were both really into music. So they opened up this shop that combined all of their passions. Sadly, his wife had passed, so that's why the cross-stitching wasn't as full as it probably used to be. But he still ran it, and it legitimately was. Like, so it had cross-stitching all on this side, it had like the music studio and music instruments in the back, and it had like all the magic stuff on the one side. It was really cool, and the guy was amazing and awesome and really sweet. So I'm really excited for this pattern, not just because it's a really cute pattern, but also just kind of the story behind where I got this pattern from. And then also, like, I hand dyed the fabric too, which is really cool. So that is another project that I have. And then let me see here. Okay, everything else, I don't actually physically have anything to show you, but some other things that I want to do. I want to make a biscorn. If you guys don't, most of you guys probably know what that is, but if you don't, essentially it's like a pillow. I think you use it for your pens. I don't really know what you use it for, but it looks cool. So essentially it's like kind of a pillow thing, and it's called a biscorn. and I see patterns for it, and I see people making them, and I think they're really cool. And I don't know how to do it. So I know that there are patterns out there, and I know that there's videos out there, but if you have a specific video of how to make these things, let me know. I mean, I'm still going to do some research. I'll probably pick out a specific biscorn pattern that I really like, but I want to make one. So I decided to go ahead and make that a goal. Another thing is to make project bags. So my mom's made me some project bags. I recently got a project bag, and I want to learn how to make my own. So there's a couple tutorials that I've found in some videos and stuff that I might try out and kind of maybe even kind of make my own after making a couple of those, figuring out what I like, what I don't like about the bags, and kind of designing my own. But I want to make some project bags. And then I want to, well, I'm always going to be dyeing fabric, but I want to work more on natural dyes, and I want to dye more floss. And then I want to get better about my pen pals. So we're supposed to send stuff once a month, and it's just, I don't know, with the holidays, with being sick, with me picking up 2 jobs, even though they're small, I've been kind of slacking, and I do apologize for that, my pen pals. But I do want to get better at that. So like I said, I plan on recording my videos the last week of the month, and then posting them on the last Friday of the month. I want to have my gifts done and mailed off by then. So I want to hopefully be inserting pictures of what I've sent. So hopefully that will also kind of keep me getting these gifts done on time. In addition to that, I need to clean. I need to organize, I need to downsize to make room for more stuff. But yeah, my craft room, it's in shambles. It really is. I do so many different crafting. I do watercolors, I do scrapbooking, I do card making, I do quilting, I do clay, like female clay sculpting, I do beading, I do everything. So I have a little bit of everything, but I don't have it organized. So I really want to try to get some sort of organization going, so every time I come into my craft room, I don't have to clean up before or search for something. So that's another goal. I do want to actually devote time for that. And then speaking of the line of beading, I do want to try to make some scissor fobs. Because now that I work at Michael's, I feel very enabled, especially when I am stocking the beading section and I'm seeing super, super fun beads. And I was like, I want those beads. What am I going to do with those? So I decided I want to learn how to make scissor fobs. So stay tuned with that. And then I am playing around with that idea of doing WIP Go. So if you haven't heard of what that is, essentially like bingo, but with WIPs. As you saw, I don't have a lot of WIP projects, but you don't have to specifically do WIPs. That's what it was designed for, that's what it was intended for, and I think as far as to win prizes and stuff, it does. But I think it's just kind of a cool concept. Essentially, you make a bingo board, and in each spot you have a different project with a different goal. And then once a month, they call out your spots, and you have to try to complete those spots. So I'm toying around with the idea of making a WIP Go board, but more so with my WIPs, but in addition to those, other goals that I wanted to do, like my new starts or dyeing fabric or things like that. So I'm toying around with that idea. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a long one. It was a long one. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you weren't bored. It was a lot. Hopefully you got a lot of stitching done. Or whatever it was that you were doing. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed recording it. It's a lot. It was a lot. So now I have to go back and watch everything and edit it all and everything like that. And then fingers crossed, pray to the tech gods that it'll upload. But yeah, hopefully you guys will be watching this on New Year's Day. That is my intention, to get everything edited and uploaded overnight so I can post it first thing in the morning so you guys can watch it on a FlossTube Friday. Even though it's technically not the last Friday of the month, you will get 2 FlossTubes in January then, because I will be doing, from now going forward, a FlossTube the last Friday of every month. You heard it, and you guys are going to be my silent motivators to actually do it. I said it, it's public, you guys are expecting it, and I hate disappointing people. So hopefully you would be disappointed if I didn't post anything. But yeah, so I will see you guys again at the end of January. Hopefully you guys have had a wonderful and safe holidays and a very, very happy new year. Welcome to 2021. And I look forward to seeing what you guys get up to, what you guys are doing, what new projects you guys have, and see what 2021 brings. Until then, I might see you before then, but if not, I will definitely see you the last Friday of January 2021. Until then, have a great one. Stay safe, stay crafty. Bye.